And I have returned. Welcome back. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, hello. Please do all of the social stuff, etc., below the video. Where we have left off here is lead ingots through the phase 2 processing of lead ingots. Yes, I understand that phase 3 is also going to change things up, and I will need to adjust for that too. Because, yeah, so phase 3 lead, what's that going to entail? Because it's going to need the processing of the... Oh, boy. Yeah. Chem furnaces! Makes slag to have to deal with. Needs a hexafluorosilicic acid. Hexafluorosilicic. That's a word. Yeah, that is a word. That is slightly different. Hey, a phase change. That actually makes some degree of sense. Whoever invented that word should be hung upside down. Well, yeah, it's chemistry. Yeah, blame chemists for that word existing. So, hydrofluoric acid is hydrogen fluoride in water. That's it. It's hydrogen fluoride in water. This is literally a phase change from gas to fluid. How you lose stuff is beyond my comprehension. How do you lose 40 units of stuff? I guess that's to simulate the density change. I guess. So you're simulating a density change. Yes, it's units, not anything specific. It's just generic units. So I'm gonna say in that specific instance, it's simulating the change in density between gas and fluid. Yeah. Add silicon to hydrofluoric to get hexafluorosilicic. Fluorosilicic acid. Yeah. On top of the anodes, which is going to need a couple of extra things in a blast furnace from the pellets. So in this case, it's pellets into blast furnace for the anodes with the same oxygen sulfur dioxide. So that doesn't inherently change. It's just I need to throw a limestone and coke at it, changing this carbon line to a combined line of coke and limestone, and that can basically stay the same. It's this step here that needs to be done instead of in blast furnaces in the chemical furnaces, and I need to add that extra doohickey, the hexafluorosilicic acid. Oh boy. Does this at least return something I can use to make more hexafluorosilicic acid? It returns slag. So, short answer is nah. Nah. No. This is just going to consume fluorine for whatever reason and silicon ore. Gonna make it on the spot? Well, it's only used in lead ingots. So why would I not make it on the spot if it's only ever used in the tier 3 lead ingots? Like, part of me doesn't even want to do the tier 3 lead ingots because it uses this. Because it's going to consume fluorite ore. Like, why would I consume fluorine, which is going to be used pretty considerably in givelite leaching, right? It gets used heavily in givelite. Also in the top tier. Well, no, this is telling me that the hydrofluorosilicic is here. Maybe hydrofluoric is in top tier something or other. It's advanced thorium fuel cell reprocessing. MOX fuel cells, advanced uranium reprocessing, catalytic synthesis of ethylbenzene, as well as gas separation. Why? Huh. No, silicon ingots needs silane at the top tier, which is aluminium plus pellets plus hydrogen. The thing about these silicon ingots is, oh, it's one of these stupid things where it just loops the ingots in. Trichlorosilane is also in here. That's a little bit different. This is chlorine-based, not fluorine-based. And then... yeah, so the silicon ingots are more of a... they improve efficiency in other systems. They're not necessarily used to make things by themselves outside of this nitride and carbide for the grinding wheels and the few buildings that use the nitride. Alright, well that's a reason to have the ingots. For the powder, otherwise I'm going to use them to improve efficiency. Yeah, big difference between chloro and fluoro. Pretty big difference between those things. Alright, let's get this finished so that I can actually get these plates going. Let's get the locomotive down. Limit the doohickeys. Grab some fuel. I did not rename the stations here. D lead ingots 1. Supply to depot. Full cargo and circuit condition. Auto magically. And I need to define both of these, the lead and the tin. So the tin is all the way down here. Depot for tin ingots, and then depot for lead ingots. Haha. That's actually good placement for the hexafluorosilicic. That is a good placement, that it's right along the lead line, because it's only used here. And the trichlorosilane and the silane, only used in the silicon. That makes total sense why they would have these gases here. Slash fluids, whatever. It's listed as liquid trichlorosilane and gas silane. And then here, titanium tetrachloride. This is familiar. So, you know that catalyst in the pie suite? That's this stuff. Titanium tetrachloride. You know that catalyst we use tons of in the pie suite? Yeah. This stuff. It's a liquid in Angels. It's a liquid. In the pie suite, it's a solid, but here it's liquid. Anyway, lead. Lead ingots. Like, hey, there's some overlap. Sure, zinc processing for electric poles too. Whatever. Don't really care so much. So I got a whole bunch of movement speed upgrades just now, just so that we're aware. Also, yeah, nanobots. Yeah, nanobots. Better nanobots would be great. Right about now. Better speed in particular. It's a shame that this speed 3 and 4 are locked behind advanced oil processing. Can we just, like, rage? Welcome to the chat room. Apparently, I briefly disconnected. I apparently briefly disconnected. I have reconnected to the chat room. I have 192 dropped frames. Woohoo! Yeah, this advanced oil processing to get into electric engine units is just a killer. It's just a killer. And this is exclusively because of the change in vanilla during what it was 0.17 during the version 17 development, where they modified oil processing and moved electric engine units past advanced. Was it that they moved them past advanced? Maybe. Because you can't get lubricant in vanilla anymore until after advanced oil processing, so why would you have access to the tech for electric engine units until after you have the advanced oil processing to actually get the lubricant? Yeah, lube depends on heavy oil. And you can't get heavy oil until after advanced oil processing in vanilla. 0.18? Yeah, I guess. It was at some point before release, before 1.0. Apparently, officially, titanium tetrachloride is a volatile liquid. So, hey, Pyanodon, get on it. You are wrong. It is a liquid. It is totally a liquid, not a solid. What are you doing? Hello, Ollie. The Ollie has arrived. Yes, the squirmer. He can make his appearance now in this stream as he goes to explore. All right, well, we're like ready now to cast our things. I should have sufficient stuff-ish for the casting of things. I'm probably going to need more casting machines. Let's get in my vehicle and grab additional casting machines. Unless I have additional casting machines. I do have some additional casting machines. I think I'll be okay. And we're gonna copy from... Oh right, I didn't ever place these again. Oops. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to be like, don't have the train stops. Paste that there, and then I need it, like, not like that here. Just grab the thing, rotate it, and place it there-ish. I need to move the... or no, don't even rotate. Don't rotate. That's a terrible idea. Why would you rotate? Do that. How about I just go up to the copper and actually place down those missing casting units? Casting machines, excuse me. This is not the pie suite. The pie suite, they're casting units. Angels, they're casting machines. Why Pi uses the word unit, I don't know. but there is a difference in naming between those two. They do very similar things. In fact, Angel's refining as a whole actually quite similar to the Pi Suite refining processes. These processes exist in real life. In general, they exist. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want you to be on the other lane always. There we go. Pretty sure I did that right. I did that right-ish. Yeah, so things like the flotation, the leaching, and all of that, that actually exists as real things. That is done to actual ores to improve the purity of the ore types, and that is present here as done to these very fake resources in the crushing and leaching and flotation steps. And I think even the crystallization step in the refining last one, all that based off real processes. Same here with the actual casting processes. That this is casting processes that totally exist. Now, does every metal go through this phase of being converted into ingots that then get cast into whatever plates or form that they need to be cast in? Not really, no. Not as far as I'm aware. Yes, ingots exist, but yeah, more so as I would think a thing for more eclectic people who choose to do their own smithing type stuff. When I think of ingots, I think of smithing, not so much let's melt a whole bunch of ingots down that we've gone through the effort of making, right? Because here we are melting down our ingots to get the plates. But why have ingots in the first place? If you're just going to be converting it directly into plates, surely you can just melt the stuff and get the plates and cast it to the plates rather than casting to the ingots, because you cast the ingots, technically, I would imagine. I'm sure there's reasons I don't know. I'm not an expert in these things. Cough cough, says the master's degree in geology person. I'm no expert at how to deal with metals and things. Ollie is attempting to lay down, stretched out, on top of a box. If only the box was taped shut. Fully. Yes, you're looking at me halfway sunk into a box. Because the flap isn't taped down in the middle. Why is it not taped down in the middle? Because of him! Because he was cat. Because he was cat and has used his weight and it's detached to the tape in the middle. So now he just sinks in the box. When trying to lay down on the box. I have found these kittens on top of every single stack of boxes that we have in the house right now. And we have several stacks of boxes in the house right now after the trip to Massachusetts. So many boxes. Oh, I need more belt. Oh, hey! I need belt. Let's get some belt. While I'm relatively close to where I have my belts being produced. He has changed boxes to lay down on a more stable box. It is a great decision as he begins to groom. Wonder what happened to his sister. Where did the dolly go? Has she spent her energy and is now also trying to sleep somewhere? Gosh, I hope so. I hope so. Having Dolly literally destroying the chair behind me, making a whole bunch of noises and disturbing me is not nice, to say the least. I need lots of loaders. Loaders are good. I like loaders. Let's go! Casting lead and tin. So, once I cast lead and tin, I'll have to cast the solder, and then we'll move on to the slag factories and scaling of mineral catalysts, and it's at that point that I can think about some form of progression beyond that. I listed here bronze processing, but in reality, it's like, oh, I need wood on wood on network, on train network. I need the basic circuits. What the heck are they called? What are they called now? Where even are they? Hello? I need basic circuit boards and basic electronic boards. ECBs on network and BEBs on the network. Do I want the basic electronic components on the network? Hell no. Hell no. These are very, very low density, which means that they're very high. There are a lot of electronic components that get used in very high frequency. We see returning 2 items into 5 in this one recipe alone. We return 1 tinned copper wire, which in and of itself is a whole bunch of other components condensed down into one, increasing that density, and carbon, which is not as dense as coal is, but still, 5 is a lot more than 2, right? So yeah, I would always make these components on site. Same with transistors, although they're a little bit more work involved. I would need a plastic factory. I would need a silicon factory, because after those, I need the automation, science on network, and the transport science on network. I keep calling it logistics science because that's what it's called in vanilla, but here it's actually called transport science. Called transport, not logistic. And then we can get into the electronic circuit board. And it's the circuit board and the electronic circuit board. So circuit board first and electronic circuit board, which would need plastic and silicon wafers, which will require, silicon or sorting, which, as one would expect, would require crystal catalysts. Is going to be its own can of worms. So yeah, lots of stuff, and plastic is going to be oil processing and all of that good stuff. So we've got lots of things that are still ahead of us. So many things still ahead of us. So let's change this recipe to lead. Yes, yes, reach. Reach! Reach for me. I don't think I need this much lead, to be completely honest, but we're doing it anyway. Yes, output already right. You. Supply lead plates 1. Depot for lead plates 1. You are going to request lead ingots at lead plates 1. And you are just going to be R at lead plates 1 for now, because in the future I may bring in at least one additional type of thingy. Oh god, that we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Ish. The frames. The frames. The frames. Twitch dead. Twitch dead. Rip Twitch. Is Twitch down? What does this have to say about Twitch? No problems detected. Is it me? Is it me? Speed test.net. Is it me? Myself and I, as I have 17,000 dropped frames. Let me have a look. Go! Do the test. Do the test. Do the test. Connecting. And connecting. Ping 10, okay. Oh my god, that is not... No, god, that is my internet. Dying. Dead. Download test error. A sock... Oh, boy. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's moving. Doing a speed test now. It's moving. It's like 77.37 download. It should be 300. Down should be 300 plus. Up is 12.22. Should be 25. Frames dropping, so... Yeah, I see like every other frame is like there are frames dropping. I see I am live, quote unquote. It's like really delayed. Whoa, that's a big delay. Interesting. Yeah, so 20,000, 9% dropped frames right now. Yeah, so I don't think this was me. I don't think this was me. My bitrate is fine. Is it my computer dying? I don't think so. Computer processes look fine. No, I think Twitch just is bad. Twitch. It may be Twitch. Twitch status. Everything is online. Oh, a chat server has some delays. there's lag on certain chat servers, but there's nothing being reported about web servers. Ingests all look online, reporting as online, so something's up somewhere between either me or Twitch or Cox Communications. I'm thinking Cox, because Cox sucks, as usual. And I have done lots of work to try to rectify this. I have reset my modem, shall we say, or turned it off and turned it on again, and it still has reported sub-optimal speeds. No, it's 12 on the upload. I'm uploading at 3 right now, so it should be fine on my upload. But anyway, I think we're okay. It's still dropping some frames. So, a refresh should get you back to live. Still dropping some frames, but upload rate doesn't appear to be the issue this time. Maybe Twitch having a hiccup. Anyway, let us continue with the progression. I need to bring those lead ingots in right here. And then I need a train. Locomotive with... oh. Wagons. Where'd my cargo? So just to see on chat, if you can hear me, say something, please. Anything at all will do. Lead plate. Supply depot full cargo and circuit condition. We've got plates. We've got plates. Successful amounts of plates. They are flowing. The plates shall flow. Yeah, like I can bring up my performance monitor and be like, hey, CPU's at 46% total across the board. Memory's at 20 gigs of 32. Disks just not anything. They're like not they're barely registering any use. Ethernet, fine. Sending is what I would expect, and receiving is what I would expect. GPU, fine. Everything on my PC is fine. Okay then. That's lead. Lead. Done. Time for tin. As quickly as I can. I do not know why frames suddenly started to drop. However, 25,185, it's not changed while looking at it. So I may be clear again? We may be clear now. Yeah, it's holding steady for this moment. We shall see. Yeah, not stuttering anymore. I think we're okay. Might have just been a Twitch hiccup, might have been something with my internet, but yeah, speed test showed normal speed, but We all know normal ain't normal. My upload is about half of what it should be. There must be someone around the area just hammering the Cox connection. I apparently need more induction furnaces. Well, let's get more induction furnaces. Sounds like a plan. Oh, I think a few more just happened. 25,206. 25,206 dropped frames. We'll see how that changes over time. But it looks like we've returned to some smoothness. And it appears that it may have briefly just gone completely down, as well as had a significant period of severe stutter on the video. Ideally, it didn't stutter my audio. That would have been interesting if it was stuttering the audio. Hopefully the audio is synchronized still in the same way it was before. Either way, the great thing about the way that I have my videos recorded is that I record a local copy at a much higher quality than what I stream at, so that my VODs that go onto YouTube are being rendered based off of a much higher quality source. And yeah, it's not subject to these little hitches that happen on Twitch and drop frames or any of that, because my PC is awesome and it can handle things like that very easily. Also, I apparently need some more of these types of things too. Induction furnaces are here somewhere. Somewhere. You guys. I will keep mentioning this until the end of time, but I think that induction furnaces and casting machines look way too similar on their icons to each other. Just your every stream reminder that the induction furnace and the casting machine icons are way too similar to each other in how they look. It's very easy to mistake which one is which when looking at them at a glance. Good, everything seems fine. And yes, we're still at 25,206 drop frames. That has not changed. So I think it's past the worst of it. Yes, YouTube gets better quality because my internet upload speed is trash. Like, I'm not going to upload live stream at 20 megabits. Like, that's not happening. Not even megabits, megabytes per second. Very few people do 20. Like, the most common is like 7.5 for 1080p streams. 7.5 megabytes. Like, that is what my ideal would be. And my internet can at max do 25. That's max 25 mega whatever bits, I guess, per second. So it's an ordeal. It's an ordeal. Bytes, bits. I can't think anymore right now. These belts need to be redone a bit because we are going out here. My local recording is in 20K, and I I render at 10 Mbps, just as a for future reference type of thing. My YouTube videos are at 10. The stream itself right now is at 3. And that's down from when it used to be at 5, I think is what I originally had it at. Related to Factorio 2, now that I need more power, perhaps I could consider gas generator. Nah. Yeah, I fixed my power situation with more steam. More coal steam power. More. I added another line of 180 megawatts to solve my issue with power. That's specifically why I've tapped that very specific coal patch in the Factorio playthrough, is for massive power generation. If I'm going to change anything else, it'll be like fusion power or something. Just so that I can figure it out. Tin time. Here's all of our wonderful tin. Let's see, you are at tin plates 1. Our tin ingots at tin plates 1. And supply tin plates 1. And you depot tin plates 1. Request those tin ingots. And we should be good to go from there. Yeah, so you get lots of artifacting due to my bitrate being 3 megabits per second on a 1080p stream, when it should be at least 4.5, if not 5 or 6, to help out for 1080p. I know it's closer to 720p streaming that would befit a 3 megabit stream, but I have had my internet be slow recently, so I had to kick it down a bit just because of how bad it's been. Like right now, sure, I could have started my stream at a higher bitrate. That's another problem I have, like with modern streaming software, is that it doesn't support on-the-fly bitrate modifications. Like, if I had a wish list on a piece of streaming software, it would, like, top of list would be on-the-fly bitrate modification. Like, while during streaming, being able to change the bitrate that I'm streaming at. That would be great. Fantastic if that could happen, but I don't see it happening anytime, at least not anytime soon. I would also like a variable bitrate stream. What's the name of the mod that lets you speed up the game? Mod that lets you speed up the game in which way? Because to speed up the game, there's a command. That's the command that speeds up the game. The clock is just a clock. There are several mods that let you do the game, that affect game speed. There are several mods that like give you a GUI graphics interface for modifying the game speed and things like that, but ultimately you can do it just the command /c game.speed equals multiplier. Yeah, a mod that lets you change the speed in fractions. There's a mod that is capable of decoupling FPS to UPS somehow. Stuff like that. Yeah, get out of that screen so that I can get a locomotive placed here. Limit all of that stuff. I need fuel. I don't know if 900 coal is going to be enough, but oh well. Tin. Supply tin plates. Depot tin plates. Full cargo circuit condition, and there you go. I didn't end up limiting this, did I? Oh, I never set it to move. That would help. So that's all done. All I need to do now is get the plates listed on the priority list. The tin plates. And there we go. The next item on the agenda is solder. Solder strand casting. And yeah, you can see this entire Angels playthrough. I've been at game speed 1. I am not at blue science. Not in this playthrough. I am not at chemical. No, I'm not even close to chemical. Not even remotely close to chemical science. Like, come on, I would have to be doing the whole of the oil processing for that. What did I just... No, not those. Oh, right, I have doohickeys. Let's use my termites. I have termites for this specific purpose. Termite bots. Let's go destroy. Destroy all the forests. Trees are the enemy. Though oddly, nanobot termite bots will not activate on trees that you have marked to deconstruct with a deconstruction planner. That is one of the more unique little pieces of knowledge to have. / one of the unique things you need to think about sometimes. Alright, time to strandcast for some solder coils. As I get tech. Okay, what do I want? I have to laugh that gunmetal exists, because it is used in nothing. Invar is used for everything. Gunmetal is used for nothing. At all. It is a little sad. A little sad. It's used in absolutely nothing. Gunmetal! Nothing! Nothing at all. One of those few things in Angels, in particular, that exists for other mods to use. But to my knowledge, other mods don't use it. Like, seriously, what not fighter-based mod uses gunmetal? Used for bullets, hey! Again, I reiterate. What non-combat / biter-based mods will use any of the things that are added in Angels that don't have base uses for? Anyway, I should have strand casting machines somewhere. Yes, gunmetal is in the name, but there's more than just gunmetal that's not used. Like, magnesium, manganese. Manganese only ends up getting used for nothing, really. Manganese is a product that improves the output of other things when used as ingots. Technically speaking, the ingots could get cast if the recipes were enabled, but they're not enabled by default. And there's some other things like actual pure cobalt. Pure cobalt plates have no use. You can make pure cobalt plates, but there's nothing. It's every use of cobalt is as cobalt steel, not cobalt. So it's like, okay, what do I use the cobalt for? What's the point of cobalt existing? Most things have uses, it's just those specific things, not so much. Give me my strand casting machines. So if I have a strand casting machine here, and I want solder coils, this can make a full coil per second out of 20 molten solder. Which means that I need induction furnaces to give some beautiful molten solder wherever that exists. So, we could actually do this right out of solder mixture, but I'm not going to do it that way. And I don't have zinc right now. Why would I dodge the lead? Like, why bother dodging the lead? I have lead. So, let's go ahead and use the lead, especially since it's the same output of 240 molten to begin with, so yeah. One of these makes 60. Alright. There's your ratio. One, two, three. Ha! Ha ha! Punny. So, the pun. 1, 2, 3. That should work out just fine. Now, 3 solder coils ends up being the equivalent of a bit more solder. If it's 4 to 12, that would be 3 to 8. No, 9. It's 1 to 3. Yeah, so about 9 solder per second out of the 3-ish ingots. That's pretty good, I think. I think that's an okay ratio. Hey, attack. I just need to shove some ingots in. And I'm gonna be lazy. This is lazy. At least I'll make it look nice. I could share belt, but nah. Let's make it look decent. Okay, you are requesting 10 ingots at solder coils 1. You are requesting lead ingots at solder coils 1. You are the supply of solder coils 1. And you are the depot for solder coils 1. Then I need to bring this line over. Why does it end up... So, have you ever had a circumstance where you go and put down a underground belt and then switch back to your transport belt and it faces the wrong direction? Happens to me all the time. I'm a little bit tired of it. Just a little bit. I hate when that happens. A lot. It annoys me. Alright, you are 10 ingots. You are lead ingots. Guess I'm waiting for a train to load on the lead ingots, and that will be that. Whoops. Not there. Do I have any solid fuel on me anymore? No. I have tapped out on solid fuel. Let's grab some solid fuel from somewhere. This should be fine. Here, have a few thingies of solid fuel. Yeah, I have carbon. I guess I could have used that 52 carbon. Oh well. Oh, and I have wood. I could use that too. The thing is, my fuel stops are coal, not coke, not carbon, not wood. So it's like, would rather have the stuffs. So I don't know what the stack size is on these. I guess I'll find out. Oh right, they need water. More water consumption. There you go. Stack size 200. Yeah. About that. One stack, please. 400 divided by 3. 133.3, that's a little over 2 minutes. So... Alright, you can be the 2 stacks. That will be fine. So we have a consistent supply of solder now. The only thing to remember is that these are coils, which means that I will have to uncoil these where I need them. S2D, full cargo and circuit condition, which, as we have discovered, the uncoiling of things actually allows productivity, which is like mind-blowing for some of this stuff. Like, oh hey, you like to use sheet coil thingies? Yeah, you should use the sheet coil thingies because you can have an extra step of productivity on them. Like, what? What? Oh boy. Oh joy. Because apparently, no productivity allowed on straight up plates to cables for copper, and yet productivity allowed on copper coil to copper cable, excuse me, copper cable coil into copper cable. Let's get our terms correct out of all this. So there we go. Ingot-based molten solder. There we go. Into coils. The last thing to make sure that I do is to actually assign that solder coil on the resource station priorities, supply priorities. And we are now done with all of that. Okay, time to scale the mineral catalysts, because I do not have enough mineral catalysts to supply the entirety of the existing base right now. And I honestly don't have even remotely enough iron and steel being produced. Like this for iron here, this for steel here. Yeah, no, it's not even close to enough. The problem that I am facing is that this whole build here is 12 mineral catalysts per second. If I were to go around and calculate everything out for how many catalysts I'm using, it should be 3.75 times 4, which is 15 mineral catalysts demand. I'm assuming that it's the same demand for mineral catalysts to do the ore sorting for each of the 4 of the ore types that I'm currently ore sorting: the iron, copper, tin, and lead. And since I'm only doing 4 buildings, each of them for 15 out per second of the ores of each of those 3 types of ores, assuming that I have the throughput of the crushed input to get there, which it seems I, for now at least, do have that. Yeah, looks like I do have that for now. It's just, I'm making 12, I need 15, and this of the mineral catalyst, and this is the space it's currently using. So my plan is to have a completely separate slag factory making slag, so that I can remove all of these electrolyzers. All of these electrolyzers right here don't really need to exist in this location. I can add 1 additional input train station and bring in all of the slag. That would reduce this dramatically in size, because by doing that, what I can do is have longer lines of these guys, of the liquefiers. I can have longer liquefier lines, I can have longer filtration lines, and have multiple crystallizers set up directly next to each other. At least that's my current plan, and I will, of course, rearrange it so that the little assembling machines here are like on the opposite side of the belt, making it easier to grow the number of assembling machines that I may need to fully process the coal filters in here, as well as to upgrade from coal filters into ceramic filters later on down the line. Because, let's be honest, ceramic filters, while high in overall volume and throughput that you need of them, operate at much, much, much faster speeds overall. So I'd rather have the faster cycling of the ceramic filters. It ends up, I think, a little bit overall cheaper. Saves you the coal expense, definitely, on that. So, let's get the planning started for this slag. I also have access to Mark II electrolyzers, however many I actually have of those, so we can upgrade this slag factory over time. And this is, like, the only consistent way of getting slag, sadly. I wish there were more consistent ways of getting slag, but this is it. I mean, we could do this whole electrode BS, but I mean, just because this is a twice as fast recipe to use the electrode to inherently improve the output for the amount of water that we're throwing at this system, that would save space. That's all it does, is save space by using these electrodes. The electrodes themselves to... Oh, I see. That's a change. I'm glad to see this as a thing. That makes this useful now, because the last time I really experienced angels was about the time that the electrode system was first added. And it was a little dumb, because initially you would have to deconstruct your used electrodes and then reconstruct them as electrodes, or something stupid along those lines. Now it looks like these properly cycle. You just throw some purified water at the problem, which means that, and it gives you a source of mineralized water to work with. I don't really care about the mineralized water so much, but hey, it's there. I'm just taking random text right now, by the way, don't mind me. I don't, I've stopped caring about the text. I just want them researched and gone. So it does look like I would like to do this at this point. Steel plus carbon. Hey, I can do that in my mall. Are we at my mall? No. Let's go to my mall and start making these, because by allowing this washing, essentially, of the used electrodes, I am able to... They become very similar to the other catalysts that exist in the game, in Angels, but they become actually closer to a barrel overall, a fluid barrel, in that you have a supply of them and you are cycling your supply. So just like as I've done with these catalyst carriers and these filter frames, I can at this point just set up the electrodes and build out the electrodes, a full inventory of them, essentially. Why not use them? If I don't have to keep reconstructing them and deconstructing them, if it's just as simple now as throwing purified water at a used electrode, well, why would I not do this? That sounds fantastic to me. It does complicate the logistics a bit, though, because we are producing now 2 solids out of this. And is this a guaranteed? I think this is guaranteed output of the used. Yes, this is guaranteed to give you back your used electrode. So we have to have some sort of a filter splitter that's filtering the slag out, if we're not filtering on the inserter side of things, which I don't see the point of doing the filtering on the inserter side of things. It's possible, but not absolutely necessary. Besides, I'm not even making filter inserters right now. Alright, now if I want, say, 75 of these things, I need the matrix salt. Wait, what? What? 75 electrodes, 75 used. Why is it 180? What? Oh. The water. It's like, hey, I need a source of 7,500 water. This recipe produces water, surely. Surely, you're going to need to have get the water out of this recipe, right? Right? No. No, we're not. No, we're not, Helmod. We are getting the water out of this recipe from our water well. That's what we're getting from. I need a supply of purified water. A lot of purified water, which, by the way, I could make out of this output of oxygen and hydrogen. You know, just casually. It's actually perfect ratio to do that. Really? Wow. That is genuinely... No, it's not. I need extra hydrogen. 375 more hydrogen. Dang. I wouldn't want to do this anyway because this is like a lot of chem plants. Oh yeah, let's just casually add another 11 megawatts of power to a build. But I still do need this purified water, so that would be here. Yeah, 5.9 megawatts is a little bit less power than 11. Just gonna point that out. I could also cool steam for what that's worth to get pure water. Lots of ways to purify water in here. Do I have some electrodes? Yes, I do. Good. Now, I have this listed as 75. It's not going to be 75. It's going to be 15. And then that's going to get multiplied as separate units of this build. I'm also going to use Mark II electrolyzers for this. I don't have level 2 chem plants. Can I make level 2 chem plants? Yes, I can, so I should be. Like, why am I not making level 2 chem plants? That's like obvious. Why would I not be making level 2 chem plants? That sounds like a wonderful thing to have. Or am I, and I just forgot? No, I'm just not making level 2 chem plants. What other level 2 things can I make that I am not making? I think the liquefiers count. Also the hydro plants most likely. Yeah, so liquefiers, hydro plants over here. I think these share nearly identical resources. And have requested enough of everything. Limit these chests a bit. Oh hey, I'm actually making a chem plant too. I actually have the steel? What? You're telling me I actually have the steel. Excellent. I actually have the steel now. My whole 2.5 extra steel per second through the mall, the train network it's paying off. My extra 2.5 plates out of all of this Angel's processing has helped me with my production of infrastructure in my mall. Yeah! It's great. I am still gonna build around this. I guess have the Mark IIs up for all of the buildings at this point. Going for this. Yeah, so this is gonna have a, like, sushi type loopy belt. Loopy belt. I am reconsidering the filter inserters on this, though. That would make life so much easier. Inserters? Yeah. Here. Oh, I can do that if I had bronze. I don't have bronze. I don't have bronze. Where's regular filter? There's regular filter. Hey. Regular filter inserters. Please. A few of those would be great. Right about now. It's funny that there's this fast stack inserter, but there's no, like, basic stack inserter. There's no yellow tiered stack inserter, so why is it called fast stack inserter? It should just be stack inserter. It's your first one, right? First one you have access to. Yeah. Also, these level 2 medium poles have a wire reach of 11 and supply area of 9 by 9, and these big ones have a wire reach of 40. That makes these on par with the Factorio ones, so if I upgrade my blueprints that are imported from Factorio for my train stations and upgrade them to the level 2 power poles, I won't have to worry about, like, adding extra moving poles or anything like that anymore, because they'll reach. They shall reach. So bronze, huh? So bronze. It's like 7 minutes until the end of the stream, so what I am going to do for the remainder here is just plan. I'm not going to actually work on the placement or building of this slag factory for the moment. That's going to be the plan for the slag factory. I'm going to have a round belt just like this. This is going to be the processing of the electrolyzers. Yeah, these guys, the electrodes, and it'll look just like this, just with the used and unused electrodes cycling around and around and around. And the slag will filter out on another belt out. The idea of having the 15 per second, if that is the case, sort of goes out the window, because what I could do is 30, but I think I still want to limit it to a single lane's throughput here. What that would allow is to have all of the used be one lane and all of the unused be another lane, which would cap at a 15 per second throughput of stuff for either one. I mean, yeah, as the stuff moves around, we're going to have our used and unused electrodes in different states at different times, but it'll work out in the end. The other thing to think about is our beautiful bronze as the next level of tech. Basically, our next metal that will unlock some glorious things. And this is going to be made out of molten. And the molten, I do not have nickel ingots, and I won't have nickel ingots for quite some time, but I do have copper and tin being provided on my network. So if I wanted, say, 5, that's not a lot. If I wanted 15, that's okay. I can accept this as pulling off of my copper and tin. This is fine. I'm making 22.5 copper and 22.5 tin right now. I'm making a few ingots of these things, so I got the spare. Even with extra tin being used for solder, I've got the spare right now. And honestly, the way that I'm designing this base is a way in which I don't necessarily have to care that much about the individual values of anything. If I notice I'm using too much of any one thing in particular, I can just go there and scale it to be bigger. Just generic more, rather than think about, oh, specific amounts for everything. It's just as long as I am overproducing, I'm good across the board, and that is my plan. That is how I'm doing this. That saves me a lot of thought processing going forward. It's like, oh, I'm making how much of this, and it's getting used in how many different ways at how much total. No, it will become too much to handle, even for me. Yes, I know we went through this exercise of, oh, hey, I'm making 12 mineral catalysts per second, but I'm using 15 through the 4 different locations that use them. That's easy enough for me to do that math, but what if I had 37 areas consuming differing amounts of mineral catalysts in each individual area, and I have like 3 areas making mineral catalysts at different amounts each? Then the math becomes quite a bit harder, right? It's a lot easier to understand, like, do I have enough or do I not have enough? And then if I don't have enough, make more. So that's how I would prefer to think going forward for all of this. And the bronze is super easy because that's a very simple build. I can just plop this down. It's the same as most other things that I have. In fact, I could just like copy down or copy over. That is a lot of it's only 3. What? So you're telling me this is a 2.5 into 15 flat? That is one heck of a ratio. That is a heck of a ratio between these. Also, can I do like the Mark II induction furnaces and casting furnaces? That's the other thing I wanted to look at. What's limiting there? I think it's the nothing. It is the nothing. I can do them now. Oh, I'm not making them because pellet presses, right, are stuck at Mark 1, but in the case of the casting, I should absolutely be doing the level 2 castings. Like, yeah, I should absolutely be doing the level 2 castings and inductions. I can keep the level 1 blast furnaces and ore processors. Well, I have level 1 ore processors right now. That's the problem, is I only have level 1 ore processors, and the different ratios change if you mix and match your mark levels on buildings. But if I keep the factory separate, I don't have to worry so much about the casting versus the creation of the ingots. Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful idea. I wish I had that sooner to, build the stuff. You need these guys, you need these guys, and that will be that. Let's get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory. I'm sure I can, like, make the Mark II air thingies now. Maybe. Or even are the air thingies? Air thingies? Here. Yeah, I can do the Mark II air thingies. Extractors, filters, whatever the heck they're called in reality. I can do not the Mark II refinery type things. I can do vanilla oil refineries if I really wanted to. / regular oil refineries. I think I'll need those, actually. Let's Let's make a few of those. Yeah. What other interesting things would be good to have right about now that are like sneaky Mark II things that I should have been building this whole time? I think that'll cover it for the moment. Because a lot of things are going to need electronic circuit boards going forward, and then there's the concrete bricks, which are a bit different. Just these. They're a little different in how we make them. We need cement and from silicon and lime and a consistent supply of lime and slag to make concrete that we could use to make concrete or bricks. Did they ever fix the niggling little issue of these? Where you would place down concrete bricks, and if you onto the floor, and if you pick them up, you would get concrete in return, or vice versa. I forget which one it was, honestly, because I'm pretty sure there was an issue where if you placed concrete brick on the floor and picked it up again, you would not end up with your concrete bricks back. But that was like over a year ago, so I don't know if it's still a problem. We can test these things once I make it, but we are out of time for the stream today. We have reached the end. I'm just going to... Hello. Those would be good to have. Let's get some electronic circuit boards eventually. I just have to laugh at the tech progression on this because it's all over the place. Like, yes, we need this next level of circuit to do things, and it's not even blue science. It takes forever to get into blue science. I mean, that follows the vanilla game, but there's just so much, so many things that you can do, and then once you get to blue science, the amount of time to go from blue science to the end of the game and like launching rockets and all that, yeah, it's like over quickly. It's fast from then. Once you are at the blue science, it just speeds up considerably. But yeah, with that, folks, what have we got done today? We got done the lead and tin processing. We had a lot of very constructive, I would say, discussions over the course of our stream on various other random things completely unrelated to Factorio. Yeah, made a carbon factory. Discussed why I went with this route to make carbon versus the self-contained-ish system using wood. And yeah, finished up all of these 5 beautiful factories over here, making the tin and lead ingots through the processed recipes, and then cast both of them, and then strand casted some solder wire coils, some solder coils, and have now planned out what we will do next time, which is to set up some bronze as well as dedicated slag factory, a dedicated slag factory, so that I can more easily scale up my production of mineral catalysts. So with that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's video and are watching the VODs on YouTube, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat, and support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will, of course, see you all on the next one.